The Situation Room with Wolf Blitzer, weekday afternoons at 5 Eastern on CNN.
They're neighbors and fellow Muslims, but that's about where the kinship ends. Newly leaked diplomatic cables, posted on WikiLeaks, show Middle East powers like Saudi Arabia don't trust Iran and fear that Iran will soon threaten them with a nuclear bomb. One cable from April 2008 refers to Saudi King Abdullah urging U.S. officials to attack Iran and put an end to its nuclear program, to, quote, cut off the head of the snake. Similar comments came from the leaders of Bahrain and UAE. John Limbert, a Middle East expert and one of the American diplomats taken hostage in Iran in 1979, is not shocked that Iran doesn't get along with its Muslim neighbors.
There are several complicated reasons why the Iranians and the Gulf Arab leaders don't trust each other, right?
Of course. I mean, you can part of it is religion, that Iran is a officially Shiite state. Many of the Gulf countries have large Shiite populations, but the ruling families tend to be are usually Sunni, and their relations with their own Shiite subjects are not always easy. Also, there's an ethnic part of it. The Iranians are not Arabs, and have their own tradition, their own language, and their own history. It's not shared by their Arab neighbors, not always appreciated by their Arab neighbors.
To put it mildly, Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak, according to a cable from last year, told a U.S. envoy he didn't mind if the Americans talked with the Iranians as long as, quote, you don't believe a word they say. The cable from the U.S. ambassador said Mubarak has a visceral hatred for the Islamic Republic, referring repeatedly to Iranians as liars. Despite our calls and email, we got no response to this from an Iranian official at the UN. President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad accused the U.S. government of leaking the documents and said this.
People are well informed these days, and these games will not affect relations.
Relations between Iran and North Korea seem to be just fine. In one leaked cable, U.S. officials said North Korea had shipped several high-powered ballistic missiles like these to Iran. Experts say these missiles have a long range, far enough to hit Berlin or Moscow from Tehran. We got no response from the Iranians on the missiles, but I did ask former UN weapons inspector David Albright about them.
If Iran has gotten missiles like this from North Korea, what does it do for their nuclear program?
Well, if Iran can import missiles with longer ranges and able to carry larger payloads, it allows them, that once they can build a nuclear warhead, to be able to threaten many more countries.
And now escalating this tension, 2 attacks in Tehran today. 2 scientists, at least one of them involved in Iran's nuclear weapons program, were hit separately. An Iranian news agency says assailants on motorcycles sped up to cars carrying the scientists and attached bombs to them. One of the scientists was killed, the other badly injured. Wolf?
Who's believed, Brian, to be behind these attacks in Tehran?
The Iranians have blamed the attacks on the U.S. and Israel, predictably. But according to the Washington Post, opposition figures accuse the Iranian government of plotting these hits to spread fear and intimidation in the capital.